There's beauty and power in simplicity. But here's the thing, doing business today is anything but simple. For leading brands, complexity is on the rise. And that's where Pega comes in. We build software for crushing business complexity. We're not afraid to take on the hard stuff. From quick fixes to big changes and everything in between, we help you maximize value with personalized, relevant customer engagement. Solve problems faster with streamlined customer service. And boost efficiency with intelligent automation. Pega simplifies your technology from the center out, one customer journey at a time, so you can get work done, get results, get ready for what's next, and save customers and employees time so they can get back to what matters most. Ready to crush complexity? Let's get started.
Good evening and welcome everyone listening to the African youth talking to us about its links to the digital world is the objective of the talk Parole à la jeunesse. It is a rendezvous of 10,000 coders from Monday to Friday at 7 p.m. Paris time, just before the daily expert webinar of 10,000 coders. We exchange with young people from one of the 54 countries from Africa. We ask them about their career paths and listening to what they have to say about the implications of digital with employability and professional integration. Today is the 17th of March. It is the third Thursday of the month. Destination Mauritius. I am Zakia Biora from Mauritius, Project Director of the Federation of Innovative and Numeric Activities in Mauritius, FINAM, which brings together ICT Professional Associations of Mauritius, that is OTAM, MITIA, CCI France Maurice, to organize joint industry activities by pooling resources. These activities are about startup and innovation, hackathons and tech events like Digi Cup and inter-universities digital solutions on which we met our guests of today. Capacity building aimed at encouraging more young people, especially girls, to go digital. And on this axis, we are in line with 10,000 Coders project. Before I give the floor to our guests, Ishvak Goumani and Richal Ritu, let me briefly introduce Mauritius. The Republic of Mauritius is an island state in the Indian Ocean at around less than 1,000 kilometers at the east of Madagascar. The Republic includes the main island of Mauritius and other outer islands like Rodrigue, Agalega, Saint-Brandon, and others. Its capital is Port Louis. Mauritius has emblematic symbols such as the dodo, the Sega music, well known for its mythical destination with its beautiful beaches. The island has a rich cultural, historical, and natural heritage that we invite you to discover. While the island is a popular tourist destination, the digital sector is one of the main economic pillars, symbolized by the cyber city located in the heart of the island, which currently houses the largest technopole where are based renowned companies specialized in BPO and IT. Now, I suggest that we discover the inspiring paths of our young guests, 2 geeks indeed, and we will start with Ishvak Goumani. Ishvak, could you briefly introduce yourself and tell us more about what you are doing as a job and why you choose IT studies?
Thank you. I am Ishvak Goumani. I am 22 years old and I reside at Koche Militaire, which is in the center of Mauritius. I work as a full-stack engineer at Bazax. Bazax is a company that works with organizations that are striving for a greener and more sustainable planet. As a full-stack developer, I handle both the front-end and the back-end of websites. The back-end is generally where data is stored and served. The front-end is where those data gets presented to the user in a conducive manner. I also get to handle a bit of DevOps. This is where code is handled, stored, and deployed. About my career path, I didn't choose to study IT because of some eureka moment. Rather, over the years, I discovered that I have a particular affinity for the subject, and the concepts generally come quite easily to me. This explains why I have been studying computer science in high school, and I also did my major BSc in the same subject.
Okay, thank you, Ishvak. And what about you, Rishal?
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Rishal Ritu and I come from Suyak, a small village in the south of Mauritius, famous for our cliffs and waterfalls. I'm 23 years old and I just graduated from the University of Mauritius last year, and it's been around 7 months that I'm working as a software engineer in a French company named Infomil. My major was BSc Computer Science. I'm often asked why I chose that specifically, since I did only maths, physics, and chemistry in college, and usually science students go for the engineering field. So nowadays, we often see many unemployed youth struggling to get a job in their fields of studies, and therefore we are unable to have a decent life. This job shortage made me analyze the Mauritian budget at that time. I looked for the most promising and high demand sectors which did not comprise of boring jobs. And it's no surprise the IT field was the best choice. And indeed now, I'm doing a job which makes me happy and brings good money.
Okay, thank you for this introduction. And maybe later on we will see some pictures of your village. Yes, here in the screen. So we met indeed in 2020 on the hackathon of on the Digi Cup, on the first edition of Digi Cup. And the Digi Cup is an inter-universities digital solutions organized by FINAM and its partners for the first edition. Our partners were the Students Club and the enterprises in the IT field. And in this hackathon, the student teams present a digital solution for a non-profit organization after identifying the problem to solve. And the student teams will represent or represented their university or IT school. The specific objectives of the Digi Cup are as follow, for instance, to encourage a friendship between IT students from different universities, to contribute also to the improvement of the participants' skills through professional coaching by professionals from enterprises, and also to reduce the gap between academic and industry by providing a better understanding of enterprise expectations, to participate to the progress of the environmental and social causes, so to use its technology for a good cause. And for the first edition, the team TestRec, represented by Ishvak and Rishal today, won the first edition of the Digi Cup, and we are very pleased to have them among us this evening, because they will share their experience on this hackathon. And in the coming days, we will have the second edition here in Mauritius of this hackathon. So it could be very interesting for the future participants to listen to to them. So, Richard, tell us what were the benefits in taking part in the Digi Cup?
Okay, since we had to work with an NGO, this allowed us to discover a part of our country that we did not know. There is a huge number of NGOs, each with a different mission on helping the country. And through the Digi Cup, we were able to interact with some of them. We also got more exposure to different IT companies, thus expanding our job opportunities. It was really helpful as we were in our final year at the university and would have soon joined the job market. We also discovered new talents in other Mauritian universities, new ways of thinking, and new approaches to problem solving. Interacting with people from the IT industry also gave us lots of new ideas for the future. And finally, the most important is that we were able to make our university proud by winning the first prize. And then we got exposure to local newspapers.
Awesome. And how you handle the organization, or what was Ishvak? How you handle the organization of the hackathon?
Right, first it is important to know your team members. We are all good at some things, and a team can in fact compensate for the shortcoming of individual members. It helps to have previously worked on a project together, and we were lucky since in that respect we did our internship in the same company. The next aspect would be to set up a collaborative process. Time is limited, and so are resources. We used an online tool called Trello to plan, allocate, and track our tasks. This made us efficient as a team, and since the solution employed lots of code, we used Git to collaborate and share codes effectively. Last but certainly not least, communication is crucial to the whole process. We had fluid communication internally as a team, and it was also important to communicate properly to the NGO. We had to stay clear of technical jargons and explain ourselves in layperson's terms. Last, communication with the jury is equally important, both at the time of presentation or during the question and answer session. I think this is the determining factor to our success. Having the best idea is not enough. We need to be able to sell it properly. This is why we had numerous rehearsal sessions before the actual presentation, and I would say that this paid off tremendously.
Great. So the key elements to handle properly the organization of the Digi Cup or any hackathon, we could say, is first know your team members, their strengths, their also weaknesses, set a collaborative process, and of course the communication is very important among the team and also with other stakeholders, and here with the jury, which represent in other way the customer, the NGO, and of course do not hesitate to rehearsal as needed. And what were the challenges?
I would say that we had two main challenges. Firstly, finding an organization to collaborate with was not an easy task. None of us were involved with NGOs that could benefit much from technological upgrades, so we had to do a bit of research there. We came across a website that curated several NGOs in Mauritius. We emailed a lot of them, a few replied and declined our offers, but the majority did not even reply. This was a bit disheartening. However, we did receive a call, and we ended up working with an NGO, and what we had to offer them led us to win the first prize. The second challenge would be that we were a team of 3. The Digi Cup is designed for a team of 4 members, and we did register with 4 members. We planned our work accordingly, but midway one of our members had to drop out. So the responsibility fell on the 3 of us, myself, Richard, and Yuvraj. On a side note, a word of thanks to Yuvraj, who made this interview possible, but he is not able to attend due to some health issues.
Yes, we could say hello to you, Raj, and we wish that your health will be better. And what about the solutions you proposed? Could you say a few words about the NGO you work with?
Right, to put our solution into context, I will share a bit about the NGO itself. The NGO is called We Recycle, and as the name suggests, they are into recycling. The way it works is that people would call them to request for bins to be placed on their premise. They usually have different bins for different materials. The NGO would then send drivers to place those bins, and once the bins are full, you call them and they would send someone to empty the waste. Our solution essentially automated their tasks and assisted in migrating from a phone and paper to a completely digital approach. First, we developed a website that would allow anyone to request for bins. The NGO had a dashboard on the website itself where they would handle those requests. The same dashboard allows informing the drivers where and when they needed to place or empty the bins. The second aspect of the solution was a mobile application intended primarily for the drivers. They would receive notifications telling them of their next destinations. The application also showed the shortest route to the destination, thereby helping them save time and fuel. When the drivers collected the waste, they can record the weight in the application itself, and it would be sent to the NGO to review. The last part was a bit of an innovation from our side. We called it the Smart Bin. It is a prototype bin that has some sensor to monitor the level of waste in it. When a predefined level would be reached, the bin would automatically notify the NGO that it was time to empty it, so no human interaction was required to notify the NGO.
So congratulations for developing this innovative solution. And the next edition of the Digi Cup will start in 1 week. What advice would you give to the student teams taking part in the competition? Richard?
Usually people say it's the experience that matters the most, but my motto is always go for the first prize. But personally, if you want to win, just applying what you learned at the university won't help you get the first prize. Try to learn new technologies, which will improve your coding skills and good practices. Frameworks will definitely be useful. Being a fan of Angular and .NET Core myself, I would recommend learning them to earn bonus marks in the competition. Another point is choose your NGO wisely. Find one which will allow you to showcase your coding skills perfectly by implementing a variety of features. And finally, just a good product is not enough, as mentioned by Ishvak earlier. Your presentation skills may become the defining factor in winning a prize. So keep rehearsing till you're confident you can deliver a powerful and captivating pitch. We actually experienced that firsthand last year, where our competitors produced very high quality products. We were so impressed that we were not sure of winning, but in the end, it is our pitch that earned us additional marks needed to win the first prize.
So indeed, your advices would be, okay, do not hesitate to learn new technologies, go out of the box, choose your NGO wisely, and also the presentation skills is very important. So to sell, indeed, to promote your solution. So the soft skills is very also important. As a word of a conclusion, indeed, because we are near the end of this talk, what do you advise the youth for encouraging them choosing STEM or IT studies and maybe later on a job in the IT field? Ishvak?
Yes, so I think that the STEM field helps better explain the natural world. Having an understanding of how things work is in itself satisfying. As the saying goes, il n'est désir plus naturel que le désir de connaissance. So that helps me a lot think about the world, and I like knowing how things work. not necessarily in detail, but just having a brief knowledge about it can be sufficient. So that's why I chose them, and it may be a factor to help others choose as well.
Awesome. And tell us, what do you think about the 10,000 Coders platform?
Well, the 10K Coders platform is new to me, but it seems that it meets a need of the online community. There is a lot of information freely available on the internet, whether in text or in video, and the amount of information can be overwhelming at times, and we need the human touch to find our way around. In that respect, I think that 10K Coders platform is doing a great job in monitoring and making available knowledge more accessible for others.
So thank you for this testimony, and thank you also for the 10,000 Coders platform. And Rachel, what about
Well,
you?
Ishvak already took the words out of my mouth, so I'll just add a bit on that. Not only can people learn for free on Gmail Coder, it can also give them the exposure that they needed, from employers to media. It will definitely benefit IT enthusiasts. Interacting with people from the industry may even allow you to prove your worth and earn an internship or a job. Hence, Gmail Coder is a very good initiative.
Thank you, both of you, for your testimonies, for your inspiring posts, for all your advisors on a hackathon and here the Digi Cup. Yes, indeed, the 10,000 Coders is a great opportunity to discover several areas of digital and extend also your network for the young people. On 10,000 Coders, the professionals from African countries take the time to listen to these young people who have chosen to be accompanied by 10,000 Coders and his ecosystem. Young people regularly follow the daily webinars on digital, personal development, entrepreneurship, IT, software development, etc. And they have also the opportunity to prepare the test to obtain the digital passport 10,000 Coders that validates a general culture of digital and accelerates their employability. The digital passport is an inclusive, scalable solution of digital culture, digital literacy by promoting the employability of African youth. Why including? Because everyone can take part to the test with no condition, no need to pay any fees, and no diploma is needed to pass indeed the test. Scalable, because the platform could support millions of people at the same time in each of the 54 countries of the continent. Hence, the project 54 million passports by 2030 is the objective of the 10,000 Coders platform. And we encourage Mauritian youth, also the youth from the continent, to join the 10,000 Coders platform. Before we leave the floor to the regie, I would like to thank again our guest of this evening for the opportunity they allow us to share their journey with us as developers, as young developers. And we wish you and all your team all the best. Thanks again, Ishvak and Rachel.
Thank you. The pleasure is ours.
Warm thanks also to the team behind the organization, Roselyne, Stephanie, Fatou, Jenny, and also of course the president of the 10,000 Coders platform, Douglas. Thank you, everyone. Good evening and see you next month. Bye-bye.
Découvrez Tous, la nouvelle plateforme qui va révolutionner le secteur de la formation en Afrique. Une interface innovante, unique et pratique qui regroupe à la fois social media et digital learning pour apprendre sans limite. Rejoignez gratuitement Tous, le premier réseau social éducatif africain, et formez-vous grâce au contenu des meilleurs formateurs et des plus grandes écoles, quel que soit votre domaine ou votre passion. Participez à des quiz, des classes virtuelles et interagissez avec des experts. Repérez votre future école ou votre prochaine formation en ligne et abonnez-vous à vos pages préférées. Agrandissez votre communauté et donnez un coup de pouce à votre carrière. Suivez, likez, mais surtout apprenez sur touschère.com. Avec Tous, révélez votre talent. Tous.